Oh. I'm recording. It's fine.
Okay.
I was just standing up.
Oh, jeez. Hello, everyone. Wait, we're all recording, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chits and Chat, the podcast where we all chits and chat. I'm Rich Truly Hero, aka Jeff, and who are you fine peoples?
Squash.
Steamboat Taco, currently disassembling a fucking fight stick.
It's your boy from another world, Isekai.
You'll never know Squish's real name.
Dude, the day I found out his real name was the day he added me on Facebook, and I was just like, who the fuck is this person?
It's his eye.
Same.
Right?
I was like, what the fuck?
His eye.
Yeah.
I had the exact opposite experience. That's probably because I worked with him before I knew him as a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of crazy, the idea of having nicknames, so that, you know, like, if Marcus was introduced to me as Knuckle Bomber, I would probably be calling him Knuckle Bomber, or, you know, or Nuts.
Or Kimber.
Kimber. Kimber.
Kimber!
Going down. We're yelling Kimber.
Like that's the power of nicknames and stuff like, you know, like Squish will forever be known to everybody who hasn't worked with him as Squish and stuff. Like my mom knows him as Squish. She doesn't call him by his first name, but she will call him Squishy and stuff.
It's tight.
And you are work famous.
I know.
Squishy.
You've told me this. I am.
It's because I chastise Squish a lot on my Snapchats and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So my coworkers see me just, like,
Abusing me?
harassing me. Like, you make it sound bad when you say it like that.
I get bullied by
Alright,
Jeff.
so
He bullies me. Help. Help.
Oh, yeah, okay.
those are lies and slander, my friend. Alright, so let's just hop right into the week. So Aldo, because you lived farthest away, you're first.
Because I hit the week.
You're always gonna be first.
Because I hit the week like 1 hour early before all y'all.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
wait,
mean,
I hit it 1 hour late. Never mind. I'm still the newest to the week. Yeah.
How's it like in the future? How's it like in the past? Aldo?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel forgotten about. What have I been doing? I've been playing Persona Royal very slowly. I'm still not even done with. So between the last podcast and this podcast, I beat the rest of Persona 5 base game, vanilla.
Oh.
So I did beat that. I fucking played that shit till like 3 in the morning one day because I was like, fuck it. I just one more mini boss, and then I was done, and I was like, oh. Okay. That game just kind of ends. Like it doesn't feel like it's gonna end. It just does, and you're just like, oh, okay, neat.
Shit, my confidant.
Yeah, that's actually what fucking happened. That is exactly the reaction I had. Like once the credits started rolling, I was like, oh no, I didn't fuck the shogi player.
Who are you going for?
She was her shogi player, and Haru were the last ones I was gonna cheat on. But when Valentine's Day came around, best girl Makoto. So yeah. Other than that, I started Royal. Really slow playing on it. Like I said, I've not even passed the first palace. Also been meaning to start Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have that sitting there loaded. I'm just kind of
Did
waiting.
you buy it physically or digitally?
Physically.
Damn, you're one of the lucky few that have one.
Yeah, so I opened it up, but like it sat sealed in the box like on my shelf for like a couple days, and I was like, maybe I should sell it because I could fucking scalp that bitch for like twice the price right now. But no, I opened it. I liked it. I wanted to have a physical copy.
Okay.
That's I mean that's it. Oh, I watched Promare. I watched Promare finally.
Oh yeah, so you're like, I think me and you are the only ones that seen it. So what do you think?
You know, it's like a bigger, dumber Fire Force. But that's not like a bad thing. Like Fire Force tries to be like real shonen-y, which is fine. But this is like yo, you want some big ass fights and robots and colors? I was like, yes, please. And it's that. It's a fucking like roller coaster of just like colors and fights and shit.
It's triggers, Gurren Lagann. Like it would be, if it was an anime, it'd be like, you know, like an episodic anime.
Almost. I think the problem is it tries too hard to be triggers Gurren Lagann. It doesn't feel original is my problem with it. It feels it feels plagiaristically close to Fire Force. It feels really masturbatory in like calling out all these Trigger and Gainax references. Like I'm not gonna lie, like the moment where they're like, "Here's a drill," I was like, "Oh hype!" But I was also like, at the same time, I was all like, "Are you fucking serious?"
No, you're just like, are you fucking serious? Like, there's got to be an emotion for that, for being like, you know.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah, exactly. That was like the only thing missing was somebody fucking yelled at. But yeah, but I mean, it's good though. Like it's kind of, it's fine. Like it's a good movie. I think I prefer like the 6 episodes of Brand New Animal that I've been watching instead over Promare.
Okay.
You should check that out, Jeff.
Oh yeah, dude, you should.
I've only seen the first episode, but it was fucking cool.
Yeah, I have the first 6 on Plex, so you should check those out, Jeff. They're real good. You would dig it. They have a.
I'll talk about things on my thing, because
They have a light wolf. He's,
The light wolf.
yeah.
the opposite.
The opposite of Shadow Wolf. Light wolf.
All right.
Raito, the light wolf.
Right hook the light wolf.
No, Raito.
Oh, right.
It's a play on
light.
the word right and light.
Raito. Light.
Ah.
Yeah.
Man, I sure hope nobody else thought up with that.
Oh. Funny. All right. Is that it for you, Aldo?
Yes. Yes, now, for reals. Oh, also. No, not for realsies.
Surprise!
Surprise update. I got all my customization, all my mod parts for my fight sticks, so that's what I've been doing today. It's been modding my fight sticks.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now I'm done.
All right, Marcus, you're next.
Let's see. So it's just been working. A lot more people wearing face masks at work. And then I get a laugh. When people laugh at me when I come in with the I'm like, yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. And they're like, oh, that's rude. I'm like, yeah, you can take that attitude. Other than that, let's see. I started Persona 5 Royal, but like, although I didn't get too far, like I'm still, I don't know. I think I'm like on my 3rd or 4th day of school, so I haven't gotten to like how much you get yet. Other than that, I've been looking for a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII. You can't.
Yo, man, you got $150?
Ooh, that is.
That's-
Wait, is this a standard edition?
Oh, no, my dude. Nah.
Fuck.
I got the deluxe edition.
Oh yeah, dude, that's fucking worth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, $150. That's the friends and family discount. Shipping, handling not included.
Got me with that. Gonna hit me with those Rona taxes too.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. And the finder's fee.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yo, man, I'm running a business here.
He sells it to me, and then he just pulls out the collector's edition. He's like, "Alright, do you want this next?" $2,000, let's go.
He just hands you everything like just a box, not even in the actual packaging. And he's like, "Here you go. Like, what's this? It's the code for downloadable content."
No, I just...
It's like in a it's like behind a receipt.
No, dude, I just send them like the install disc, but not the play disc.
Oh no!
Hey, man, technically you got it. It's installed.
That's fair. I've also been trying to find like a physical copy of what's this? Animal Crossing.
Wait, really? You're going down that bandwagon?
Yeah. So I haven't been able to find that, and then like the couple Walmarts and Targets that we went to, they were all out of like all the Switch accessories.
Oh shit!
So I was trying to find. I was just trying to find like a Pro controller.
You saw him at the Walmart.
Yeah, I saw one today.
Yo, man, I'll sell you my Pro controller for $100.
I gave you a deal while you had a chance.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, actually, if it's not sold out, the 8-bit Doe, like SM30 Pro Plus HD Deluxe, whatever fucking they call it, is actually a really good replacement for the Pro. It's like
Okay.
it's like $10 cheaper.
Shit, I'll have to go check that out then. Other than that, that's about it. Think we're gonna finish Resident Evil 3 today?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Most likely. Alright. Kai?
Let's see. I beat Persona 5 Royal a while ago. Having actually finished it, I will confidently say that this is your first go around with the Persona 5. Definitely pick up this version, but it's definitely not worth the double dip.
I would disagree, but okay.
You haven't even. What are you talking about?
But dude, I would play Persona 5 like 10 times over. So if you gave me like 30% more Persona 5, that's worth it.
I don't know, man. The new stuff that they added really isn't worthwhile, in my opinion.
There's a whole third game.
We'll talk about this next podcast because
I still,
Well,
I think
I still haven't
we'll talk
beat it.
about it like in a
I still haven't beat
we'll
it.
talk
Yeah.
about it like in a month when I finally get through that in FF7.
no,
So I'm gonna be juggling both of those.
just
We'll talk about it like later on because I also need to. After Squishy's done, it'll be my turn to dabble into Persona Royal. Because we're all gonna take our shots and stuff, and then we'll do a little
spoiler cast
spoiler cast.
with bonus round waifu wars.
Everybody, shots.
Let's
So-
see. I don't think I've
You
done.
think you beat Persona Royal in like 2 weeks, Mark? 2 or 3 weeks?
Unless you guys stop telling me about Final Fantasy stuff yet.
I'm not hounding you for shit. I'm just saying, just freaking record when we're doing it. Things
That's true. What, 2 weeks?
2 3 weeks.
2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the man that watched like all of One Piece in like
That is true. But
3
he has,
months.
He has yet to beat. He has yet to beat the first Persona 5.
Marcus,
He's still stuck in the same spot in Persona 5 as he's going right now in Royal.
Knuckles. How much fucking kindergarten ass grade drawings did you watch? And you can't get past Personas.
Oh,
My God.
I think that's like I think One Piece is more than like the whole entirety of Persona 5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
most
dude.
certainly. Like, objectively.
Like, it took me 70-ish hours to finish Royal. And that's probably with me leaving the PS5 on for way longer than it needed to be. And I just fucked around.
You're PS2ing it with no memory card.
Yeah. But yeah, so I finished that. We'll go into details on that at a later point in time. God, I don't do a whole lot nowadays. I ordered parts for our new home theater. And I look forward to building that. But the motherboard is the part that gets here the latest, so that's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
Being unfortunate.
Beyond, can you guys remember anything that I've done these last 2 weeks?
I don't know.
You were playing Sims?
You were playing Sims?
Yeah, I was playing Sims. But that's unremarkable. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants to watch somebody else's playthrough of The Sims. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing. So,
Okay. Squishmas?
I've been also playing Persona. That's what I've been doing. I actually sat down and started playing that. I'm on the third to last dungeon.
you just finished size.
Or I'm doing size.
casino.
I'm doing size right now.
Okay.
Oh, like new third to last.
Yes.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
It's the casino.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
at the casino.
I didn't recognize the name.
That's where I'm at right now.
You mean best undateable waifu?
Sure.
Right?
That pisses me off.
Right?
I don't know. That's about it. To tell you the truth, I've just been playing Persona 5. Nothing new. Should start watching more anime probably, but
I know how you feel because my week, I actually haven't watched any anime at all. Unfortunately, like I haven't really sat down and watched any anime, especially with the new season that came out and whatnot. Probably actually the only anime I started watching was the new Digimon anime.
oh yeah, I did watch
pretty
the
good.
first episode of that, or
It's pretty good.
and the second episode.
I'm curious to see. Like we're only 2 episodes in right now, with the one coming out later on this day, and I'm enjoying it. Like it's the animation's on point, surprisingly especially coming from Toei, and like it doesn't seem like they're reusing the old. They're not doing like the old Digimon thing where they just reuse the attacks animation like over and over again and whatnot. That's always a big plus.
Did they include the best Digimon theme song ever?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
No.
Digimon.
Yep.
Digimon champions.
What? No, shut up.
They do a callback.
They don't use.
I swear to God, if you say Butterfly is the best theme, fuck you.
Of Digimon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh,
it is.
gross.
With freaking biggest streamer being the second, and Target being the third.
I'm sorry, Digimon only ever had one theme song.
Yeah, and it's a shitty one.
Oh no, you mean the fucking masterpiece that they made in half an hour? It's fucking lightning in a bottle, Jeff.
It's lightning in a bottle.
Always trying to antagonize me, Aldo.
What? No,
But,
never. Never do that.
Other than that, I've been slowly getting at it with making my comic PK, which is kind of a long straw, just because I'm drawing with the artist block. Like here's the thing about drawing and making a comic and whatnot. Just the hardest thing about it is, like with everything else, is just trying to get started, you know. And while a lot of people would say like don't force yourself and stuff to try to draw something that you don't really like, you're not really thinking of or whatever, I feel like you still got to in a way, you know, like, because if you keep on doing that, you're just gonna be slog, you know, and you're gonna forget about it for weeks on end and stuff, and then until you think of something, you're like, oh hey, and then like it'll probably be like a couple months later and stuff like that, and then you don't know whether it'll be coming up to your standards. So for me, I feel like my own thing is that to at least try to, you know, continue on regardless of whether I am, you know, in the mood or not. I've been focusing a lot of editing because this is the first time actually in a while that we're doing that I'm doing both a talk through and a solo act because with us living together and whatnot, it's much more easier to do a talk through. So we should be wrapping up with Resident Evil later today, I believe. We're near the end. I feel like we're in the end. Mega Man's gonna be heading soon with Batman work, and then like I'll be starting with. I said I was gonna do Brave Fencer Musashi, so I'm gonna start that. It's gonna be my first time actually playing a solo act with a PlayStation game, because since I did grow up with PlayStation, a PS1 for the most part. So that's gonna be an interesting tidbit for me because I never played Brave Fencer Musashi. And it's gonna be my first PlayStation time.
Wait, are you playing the first one or the second one?
Kyle, yeah, the first one, right?
It's the first one, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be playing the first one. Then after that, me, Kyle, and Squishy are actually gonna be recording Detroit after Resident Evil, and hopefully everything turns out good.
You guys y'all should do like what is it, like Man of Medan or like Until Dawn, where like everybody can vote on the decisions.
I do have Until Dawn, so if we wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think Until Dawn lets you do that, set up like a party mode, and that way you guys can keep usurping Jeff in control of the game.
It's like fuck. I really do want to play. I mean, just because I think it'd be interesting. I would like to play like Shadow the Hedgehog with Kyle and Squishy to see like if they want to go good or they want to go like fucking evil.
No, we go Edge all the way.
Go Edge all the way.
So we go straight down the middle.
We go straight down. Speaking of which, I've downloaded Sonic Adventure and I'm going through that again because fucking I like playing that game, and I think I can say that I really do enjoy playing Sonic Adventure, and I believe freaking Marcus, Squishy, and Kyle could vouch for how many times I grew up playing that game because I was quoting all the fucking dialogue in that goddamn game. But other than that, I fixed the bike today. I repaired my one of the bikes. Well, not that one of the bikes, but the bike I had in my on my patio or whatever. And yeah, works for the most part. Works like a charm. Did a quick little bike ride around the neighborhood, and I came to the realization that my fucking thighs are one of the worst parts of my body. Like, when I got done and I put the bike away, I almost like collapsed after closing the door. Yeah.
Did your thunder thighs start to rain?
Essentially.
They felt the quakes.
They were my legs that made me quake. Other than that, like, nothing else has really changed for the most part for me. Work's still the same. Been playing the same games, stuff like that, and been grinding Final Fantasy as well as playing a little bit of Animal Crossing here and there. So I personally am excited when I'm able to actually get into a different set of games because I want to do a little bit more experience playing like other games other than just the ones I grew up with. That's why I'm gonna do this, and I'm confirming this after I'm done playing Brave Fencer Musashi for Soul Act. I will go through Metal Gear Solid for the first time.
GameCube version or PS1 version?
It really depends on how far I get in Brave Fencer Musashi versus when Kyle's able to get his motherboard.
Okay, because I mean they're both good, but like Twin Snakes is anime AF.
Yeah, like I, as somebody who's a super huge fucking Metal Gear Solid fan, the GameCube version is definitely the easier one to play because it's got more comfort of life features. But boy, do some of those cutscenes turn it into they got really fucking inspired when they saw The Matrix and they went way too overboard with it. So.
Well, it's funny because it's not directed by Kojima.
Yeah.
And the guy that was directing it was recreating everything kind of exactly. It was a lot more faithful than it was at the end. But like when they showed it to Kojima, Kojima said like, "This is boring. Go extreme with it. Like just do whatever you want. It's fine. Like just make it fun, make it interesting." And then they had
Came up with that.
Yeah. Then they just had like Snake backflipping over a missile instead of like just dodging it like a normal motherfucker.
Actually, I think I could find a way to play the GameCube version.
Yeah.
Not the it's not the best. It's not the legal method, but
We can play it the legal method. Don't worry.
all right, cool.
Do you want me to mail you a PlayStation Classic?
I have it. I own the PlayStation version, so.
Nice. I have a PlayStation
so-
Classic that's eating up dust.
So I'm excited and curious to see like how Metal Gear is gonna be like, because I hear great things about it. I'm not gonna like be like, oh well, this is nothing, but I know that it was a cornerstone of my friend's childhood back in the old time of when it was me and Nugs and Speedy, and for you guys as well, I guess, right? So yeah.
I wouldn't say it was part of my childhood. I didn't play PlayStation until like I was like in high school and college. But like it was formative in my gaming opinions moving forward.
Okay. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And well, when Kyle mentioned about quality of life and stuff, that was headed right in the topic. Yeah. So Kyle,
Yeah.
you were the one that wanted to bring up this topic, so I'll hand it to you to start it off.
Oh yeah. So there's been a lot of talk lately, a lot of discontent and complaints, especially with Resident Evil 3 coming out and now Final Fantasy 7 about how long a game should be for $60. So I thought it would be topical of us to kind of talk over like what do you expect out of like the value of the game? How long should a game be versus how much should it cost, essentially? Because like it's a complicated subject. Because I think like when you look at my Steam, the two games that I've played the longest, I think, are gonna be Skyrim, and that's mostly just from modding it, loading it back in, checking to see if mods work, and then at repeat an infinite amount of times. I've probably spent more time modding Skyrim than I have played it, and but that's like a typically very long game, very open world. It's a game that you're supposed to get lost in and invest a huge amount of time in. And then like the other game that I've spent the longest time playing is Slay the Spire, which is technically a very short game, but you're meant to replay it over and over and over again. And obviously Skyrim's like a $60 game, and I bought Slay the Spire for like $10. And it's hard for me to say, because like actually it's like Final Fantasy 14's the longest game, and then XCOM 2. But yeah, like I've gotten more playtime out of Slay the Spire than a lot of other $60 games that I've bought. But even if I had known for sure that I was going to get the time that I'd gotten out of Slay the Spire, if somebody had asked me to put down $60 for it, I like that seems weird and not and like wrong to me. So
Yeah, go for it.
So, I mean, there's a game I've played for a very long time.
it's okay. You can talk about how you play League of Legends, Squish.
we've
We've already shit on you, and we're still going to shit on you for playing it.
Piece of shit.
So yeah, I've been playing this game for a very long time. For I don't know, many years now, nine
More than
years
10.
now. So I don't really know what the value of a game is. I play a free-to-play game. Like,
Well, think about it this way: like how often do you play the game, and how much money you've thrown in the game?
I don't want to talk about how much money I've thrown into this game.
How much money have you
How
thrown
much
in
money
that
you throw in
game?
your game, Squish? How much money you throw in, bro?
I don't want to say.
Say
Hey, how
it.
much
Say it out
Gun
loud.
to your head.
It's like
You had-
it's
triple
like
digit?
$600.
Oh my
the fuck?
god!
Oh,
Oh my
What the
God.
fuck? Yeah.
Wait, over 10
Over
10 years?
10 years, yeah.
That's like $60 a year. That's a game a year. That's fine.
Yeah.
Jesus
I-
Christ!
It's all going straight to China, also.
It would be fine if it was an actually good game.
That's like what? Like on average, it's like what, $5 a month? So like five. That's like cheaper than a Final Fantasy subscription.
Yeah.
I guess,
I guess.
but like, it's still not a good game.
That's like 30 cents a day. That's fine. I'm just gonna keep playing.
Don't put ideas out there. Although, just wait until you can get the free FIFA game. You only have to pay $1 a day.
FIFA.
FIFA.
FIFA?
Yeah.
FIFA.
So like on that note though, like, so here's the thing. I don't equate money with time when it comes to video games. Like I used to. Like even maybe 2 years ago, I would have probably equated that, right? I think for me, my thing is when I pay $60 for a game, I expect quality. If I pay $10 for a game and it has bugs, like that's fine. But when I pay like 60 or something, that's why I don't buy like Bethesda games. I just don't. Or is it Bethesda Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Bethesda.
see, that's how long it's been since I fucking. So like for me, that's like the deciding factor is like the quality. So like, I'll pay $60. I mean, I pay more money on most games because I tend to buy like collector's editions or like deluxe editions or whatever, and the DLC. But if the quality of that game, of the storytelling, the acting, is like good, it's worth it. Because like the game that I've probably spent the most money on is probably the game I've played the least out of everything I own, and that's Final Fantasy XIV. I have dumped so much money into that game. I've bought like mounts. I've paid monthly for so many months when I didn't play it, and I don't know that I could say it's been worth it for the amount of time. But the quality of the time that I've played has been good. Like it's earned that money because it's a solid MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you bring that up, Aldo, specifically, because like I think it was last podcast we talked about the Panzer of the Dragoon remake, and like one of your main complaints about that was like, don't get that, it's only 6 hours long.
Yeah, so it's 6 hours long, and it's shit. And the fact that it launched right next to like another game for like that's cheaper, and you get more time with it, is good. The problem is Panzer Dragoon's quality never went up, and like that's part of like what makes it stand out that it's 6 hours long, because Resident Evil on like a good playthrough is like 6 hours long, like most Resident Evils, but the quality of those 6 hours is there, and the fact that like I didn't have that sense of like these like what was it, like this 1 hour playing Panzer Dragoon, it was worth it. Like it didn't feel fun. It was frustrating. It was annoying. It wasn't like a good experience. And the fact that like it was a short but painful experience is like that's not a favor. That's not a good thing on its end.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like if that makes sense. Like the game didn't feel good. It wasn't. It didn't play well. And the fact that it was like $20 and an hour long, like it's just like the shit on top. Because like if it was good, and I wanted to play it like multiple times, I wouldn't care that it's an hour long. In fact, I'd be happy that it's an hour long, because then I could just replay it more and more and get higher scores. But that's not the case.
Okay.
There you go. I've justified myself.
There we go.
Like for me, like, well, I'm a sucker when it comes to games that I want to play. And stuff like
Sonic.
that, so for the most.
Sonic.
All right, let's. Okay, so
Just say Sonic, Jeff. Just say you're a sucker for Sonic.
for the. I'm gonna. I don't. I want to. I would like to. I would like to, but
have you sucked for Sonic?
I would like to say that, but I just don't want to like. I don't want to go down that path and start a whole conversation I don't want to get into. All right, is that fair?
No. Anyways, keep going.
We're gonna have the Sonic cast.
Okay, so
Do you want to have a Sonic cast one time, Jeff?
why? So you guys could shit on me about liking Sonic?
I mean,
I like
a
Sonic.
little bit.
I know you like Sonic.
Sonic's fine in 2 dimensions.
I'm not. I don't want to get in this I don't want to get in this conversation, so I'm not gonna say anything else.
Pixels over polygons.
You're not wrong. I'll give you that. But I don't. Like I said, I don't want to get in this conversation. So,
His full furry will come out.
Woo woo. Anyways,
try to avoid getting shit on me. Get shit on me.
all right.
There's no escape.
Okay,
Escape.
okay. Sonic shaming aside, please make your point.
Well, like for me, like I'm like Swishy said. To put it bluntly, I'm a sucker for Sonic games and stuff, and I'll still find like enjoyment out of all of it. Like, for example, I don't remember how much Dreamcast games were back when I was like 10, 11, but like all the new, like whenever a Sonic game gets like, you know, out now, it's released, like I'm always down to buy it. Like I have fucking Sonic Adventure for Dreamcast, Xbox 360, fucking I have it for GameCube, and I have it on my computer now. I could get a lot from a Sonic game, if I really do enjoy it. Like, for example, for adventure and stuff. Like, it's quick. The game back when I was little, it took me like probably 5 to 6 hours to beat Sonic Adventure. Hell, Sonic Adventure 2, me and Squishy did a talk through of it, and we did it all in one night, essentially. Yeah. In regards to those games, though, it's all about like, you know, how fast you want to go. It's just see how fast you're able to.
Yeah, you got to go fast.
Get endless. Yeah. Just to get higher scores, do chow shit, and see if you can unlock any extra things. Like if you played enough Sonic and get all the emblems, which I have yet to do. In Adventure, you unlock Metal Sonic, and in Adventure 2, you're able to play through a 3D version of Green Hill. Those are nice little tidbits for everybody who beat it, but you know, completionist, you know, goals could vary depending on how you feel about the long haul of it. When you play a newer Sonic game, for example, there's just not a whole lot of content after you beat the game. It's all just, you know, to see how fast you're able to go. So you probably you kind of like throw in your own challenges, see if you beat it with no rings or no stages, or not no stages, beat it with no rings without the usage of the boost formula, just your own ways, not hitting enemies, etc. So you kind of make your own little things to just kind of go through the game. Now, Sonic games now are usually like $10 cheaper than, like, say, a good well-made game and stuff. I'll admit to that.
Thank you.
I'll admit to that and stuff. But overall, like, as long as you're being able to have fun with any of those games and stuff, length shouldn't be a big issue. But at the same time, though, like, if you look at a game, and if you're gonna be like a, you know, if you're a diehard fan of the series, you know, of course you're not gonna worry about how much it's priced and stuff. But if you do hear about like about like reviews and whatnot, then it will probably stifle it. Because when Sonic Forces came out, I was excited for it and stuff like that, just because music and Sonic. But like,
And you got to make your persona.
and I got to make Persona. But for the most part, though, like when I saw the reviews and stuff, I was really hesitant because of how quick Sonic Forces is. After I beat it, I haven't really gone back to playing it since, and that's actually really surprising for me for playing for a Sonic as a Sonic fan and stuff. We're now going off from Sonic into Final Fantasy and stuff. I probably threw I probably in the triple digits amount of how much I throw in that game. Not like $600 crazy, but at least like $200 or $300 in. Not just with buying mounts, with the subscription service and stuff like that, as well as like Fantasias and stuff. So I feel like I'm getting a lot of bang for as much content as I'm getting, as I haven't done in Final Fantasy. I feel like I'm getting like more than enough with the amount I pay because of, like I said, I don't do a whole lot of content in the game. Like I'm just starting with Eureka, and that was like back when Stormblood was like at its midpoint and stuff. We're in Shadowbringers, so at the downplay my level and shit like that, as well as like starting to be a crafter and doing land jobs and stuff like that. I want to say like it's probably. I feel like I can't really say I had a game, well, other than Sonic Forces, where I feel like I pretty much lost. Like I don't really gain enough from how much I bought from it. Like with Resident Evil 3, like Resident Evil games are short. Like depending on how good you are in skip cutscenes, it could take from like 3 to 6 hours, depending on what Resident Evil it is and whatnot. Right? Like you could beat Resident Evil 1 for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, less than 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for me being first time going through Resident Evil stuff like that. Like we're gonna be missing a few things. Like hell, we missed the blue gem on our playthrough, and it was like at a place that we were going back and forth from, and stuff.
Was it?
Yeah, and that's okay. Funny enough, that blue gem is where if you put the blue gem on, you get an extra storage space for it. Right?
Oh shit!
Is that upsetting? No, Marcus just kind of facepalmed a little bit. But being able to go through those games, stuff like that, and see kind of like the little improvements that they made here and there, is always a bonus for everybody, especially if you want to waste your time with playing games. Because back when we were little, I'm pretty sure this affects all of us, but we didn't get the next biggest game until birthday or Christmas, and we only got probably 1 or 2 games a year, not counting siblings and stuff like that, and that's on birthday and Christmas, or freaking your abuelita loved you a lot and bought you a game without hitting you.
So speaking of that, because when I got my PS2, right? When I got my PS2,
Yeah.
the first game I got was Scooby-Doo 100 Nights of Fright. and
Continue.
And I played the fuck out of that game. like that is my jam. I know how to play that game very well.
Yeah, it's for example, when we got Kingdom Hearts for the PS2 and stuff, that was we got that for, I want to say it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. I can't remember. My dad was like, "Hey kids, you guys are really cool and stuff. Here's Kingdom Hearts." When you don't have a memory card, you know how to appreciate a game.
Yeah.
And that just adds on with that could potentially add on with your whole time playing said game and whatnot. But as of now, it seems like people, unless a game seems like it's gonna be good, everything looks good and stuff, and people tell you how long the length is. What's your guys' in regards to genres of game, like say we'll go with RPG because we're playing everybody's playing Persona right now. What's the average length of an RPG for you to think that it'll be worth $60?
40 hours.
40 hours?
Yeah, I'll say that.
God.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd have to be at least 40.
here's the thing too, because I think 40 hours almost feels like that's enough time for somebody to come out with like a story that doesn't, especially for a JRPG or RPG, to not feel rushed.
Yeah.
Like I love Star Ocean. Star Ocean 3 is my jam. But like Star Ocean 5 on the PS4 was like a 20-hour game. By the time you start feeling like it's fleshed out, like systems are developed, like when it starts feeling like a Star Ocean game, it ends. And it just leaves you empty, which means that the bulk of the game just doesn't feel good. It's not like quality 20 hours. But I don't know. Maybe if it was 40 hours and it was shitty for 40 hours, maybe it's not worth it. But like I've never played like an RJRPG that's been like shorter than 40 hours that's felt good.
So for me, like with JRPGs, it's really hard for me to say. I would say, like, it really depends on what they're doing with the game and the story. I beat the original Chrono Trigger in 30 hours, and I felt like that was the perfect sweet spot because I feel this is a huge problem for JRPGs in particular, that a lot of JRPGs typically tend to have something that just spaces them out to be too long. And a lot of times by the time I get towards the end of a JRPG, I just want to get it over and done with. Like, that's how it felt for both normal Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. It got to the point where, like, as I was getting to the end, I was just like, fuck it, let's just wrap this up. I want to be done and over with it, because I'd been playing it for so long. And a lot of games feel like that, especially games from the PS1 era. Those games tend to typically have, like, an entire disc that you could have cut off with absolutely no consequence to the story or the quality of the game.
Speaking of PS4, let's talk about Final Fantasy VII and stuff. So, does anybody know how long the remake is? Like, what's the average length?
It's about 40 hours.
40
About
hours.
35 hours is what I've heard.
And,
Yeah. I guess completionist-wise, it's about 40 hours.
Kyle, Aldo, you guys played Final Fantasy VII, right, and beat it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I never beat base or original PS1.
How close were you? How close were you when you?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all. All right. So
No,
Kyle.
you remember when I chastised you about not playing Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah.
You never asked. You never asked if I beat it.
Just assume.
Fair. But Kyle.
Yeah.
So obviously the remake is, like the first half of, like the first third of.
Oh, it's not even the first.
No,
third.
not even.
Not even.
No.
No, dude. Midgard in the original is like maybe half.
It's
maybe
like
less
it's like
than the first disc.
Yeah, it's like the first 6 hours of the game,
All right.
from what I can recall.
Continue because I want you to compare the remake, even though we haven't played it. You all right? What was that?
Oh, that was me. I accidentally unplugged my headset.
Kyle, I want you to like kind of. Well, I know we haven't played the remake yet, but from what you saw or heard, I want you to compare like the remake to the first disc of Final Fantasy VII, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So from what I've seen and heard, which isn't a whole lot, because after I played that demo, I was kind of like, yeah, this isn't meant for people like me. This is for people who liked the original 7 or got really excited for 7 but just couldn't stand playing a game that old. And they're not going to get back to it. But based on everything that I've seen and heard, that game's 35 hours for no fucking reason. It just seems like they added a whole bunch of dumb bullshit side story nonsense that just doesn't add any value to it.
There's a lot of. I've heard there's like at least 10 hours spread through the game of just stupid like go kill this thing over here, please quests,
Yeah, so really the game's like 25 hours long.
or should be.
Yeah, it should be. And even then, I think that's like I said, based on what I can remember in the original game, Midgar was just like 6 hours long. So I can't imagine that the additions they've made have been worthwhile at all, really. But
I think, and according to my roommate who's like been playing it like a lot, he loves it so far. His thing is they've moved a lot of like background information that you receive later in the game or like after Midgar into Midgar. So there's like a lot of backstory that you would typically receive then, you're receiving it now.
yeah, and that makes sense because like I know like they've had to change up the story a lot because like obviously everyone knows who Sephiroth is, whereas in the first game, by the time you finished Midgar, you just knew that Sephiroth was a name and that apparently he was bad news, and that's all you knew about him. But now everyone knows who Sephiroth is. Everyone knows what happens to Eris. So it seems like they've changed it. So maybe if they did move those details from later on into the game to help pack into Midgar, but like I still like going from 6 to potentially 25 hours. Like I don't know. I also didn't like Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy. I loved it as a child, but like if you ask my opinion on it now, it's fucking hot garbage. Like I don't care for 7 at all. I don't think it's a very good game. So like you're asking the wrong person, I think, if you want me to give you a good comparison.
I know,
good opinions.
you're the only one though that's played Final Fantasy VII.
That's like
or
the
that's
same thing I was
seen it.
thinking when he asked you.
You're the only person that's. Have you beat my Final Fantasy VII, Marcus?
99%.
Really?
Well,
What
not in completion mode, but like I was
Like
on the
main
last
story?
boss.
main
Yeah.
story?
And then my memory card got corrupted, and so I was so frustrated that I didn't go back.
Yeah, ask Marcus about this. He's a better.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on playing the original because I have it on my Switch after I'm done with remake.
Right on.
I'm gonna
All right,
finish
Marcus. Can you elaborate
What like?
on Final Fantasy VII?
it. But I
You
thought
remember?
Marcus is totally unspoiled on the remake and hasn't read anything on it, so I don't think he can opine on it either.
Nobody knows anything about Final Fantasy VII.
Except for the guy that fucking hates it.
Except for the guy that loathes it. But
That's cool.
You
Yeah.
want you want me to bring my roommate in here?
so the biggest thing about it is the fact that it's a full price. Like this is the thing that probably irks me the most about Final Fantasy VII Remake is that we know, like it's not even like Well, they're going to release in 3 parts, right? From what I heard.
We don't know if it's 3.
We don't know anymore. I've read on the changes to the story in remake, and it's very unclear what's happening after this entry.
So they're rebuild of Avaing it.
Listen, I don't want to say anything because Marcus is listening, and he wants to go in totally unspoiled. So I'm not going to say anything at all. All I know is that there's changes, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say. There are changes. To what extent or scope or impact, I'm not going to comment.
Damn. So, like, do you, let's think about, like, the iconic scenes in Final Fantasy VII, right?
Okay.
Like, well, probably the biggest iconic one is when, Eris dies and stuff.
Yeah, Aerith.
Aerith.
My bad.
Aerith.
I mean, it was Eris in like the original translation, but whatever.
I just remember it as Eris because freaking there was a fan site called Eris Dies, which is actually where you look up hentai.
And like that's one of the problems with the original version of 7 is that it got a not great translation from what I understand. I know that there was several typos. There was the whole Eris thing when it should have been Aerith. But like
is forever known as Curse Slash is now always will be known as Cross Slash.
yeah. there was a few translation errors. The game was pretty rushed as well. Its original development, and this was also back before like localizing games was taken serious, like very seriously. And then after Final Fantasy VII hit the map, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, did you see how amazing this game looks?" And then went out and bought it, and then loaded it into their PS1, and then they were like, "Wait, why does this game look like fucking shit? What are these toothpick people?" And played it, and it sold gangbusters. Where people like, "Oh yeah, we should probably take translating very seriously."
Well, I guess that's one step of, making translations good, I guess.
Jeff, why did you link a 13,500 Evangelion figure?
13,500. What you talking about?
$13,500 US.
That's a lot.
That's $132, dude.
No, it's 13,500.
No, dude, that's yen.
It says USD.
I see 132 USD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm seeing 13,500 USD.
Got sidetracked. Anyways, continuing.
I need to make a point.
Well, okay, I'm gonna show you the screenshot of mine, and you will see.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that version of the costume. I'm not a fan of alterations to the plug suit. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, what the fuck?
Listen, man, I wouldn't pay that much, even for the life size Rei Ayanami lottery. and I fucking try to get a loan for that too.
All right. To bring it back around, so a lot of this discussion has been dominated by like JRPGs and like games that are typically full price. But like, what about indie games? Do you guys still feel the same about like indie games, which are usually not priced, which typically tend to be priced much lower than $60, but would like if somebody were to start selling indie games at $60, which tend to be pretty good actually, like, could somebody convince you to buy an indie game for a full $60-$70 price tag?
That is a good fucking question.
I tend to be more lenient on indie games. So if an indie game has like, I don't know, it's shittier. Like obviously they don't have the scale of like quality control. A game's been out in development by like a small team for like so many years. I tend to be a little bit more lenient to it. Like, you could convince me to pay $60 for some indie games. Blind, maybe not. Like, I think I would need to see the reviews for it. But I mean, there's stuff like River City Girls, which is kind of an indie game. Like, what am I thinking of? Like Guacamelee, I think, was pretty high up there. I think Guacamelee I would absolutely pay $60 for.
Okay.
I think for me it just really depends on like the reviews of it, and like I guess it's trying to do something different. Because if an indie game comes out and it's just Mortal Kombat but with like, I don't know.
But it's actually all ninjas.
Yeah, but it's actually all ninjas.
Oops,
like
all
no,
ninjas.
like no, fuck you. I'm not gonna pay $60 for that. But if you give me like, if you throw like Guacamelee at me, which is like a Castlevania, but it's like brawler based, like hell yes, I'm gonna play that. Dead Cells, which is like a roguelite, but with other things, like hell yes, I'm gonna play that.
Well, would you pay $60 for Dead Cells?
Yeah.
Okay. Because like that's where my conundrum falls. Because like I like Dead Cells, but because of how much it is RNG based,
Yeah.
I couldn't like even if somebody took a time machine and took me and showed me how much fun I was having with Dead Cells, I still would not pay $60 for it. And that's the conundrum that I run into.
Right. I mean,
'Cause I think
that's absolutely fair. Like I bought Axiom Verge, I think like at launch, and I wasn't fond of it. So you could not convince me to play that game for $20 again. So I agree with you. I think it's very like I don't know. With indie games, it's kind of a toss up, right? Because because you don't exactly know. Like if I don't know, Tecmo Koei comes out with something, I kind of have an understanding of the quality of that game or the content or whatever. Well, with an indie game, you don't know.
yeah.
And it's that for me would have to be really dependent on like the reviews or a demo or something to know what I'm putting that money in. Because I'm saying I would absolutely pay $60 for like the indie games that I have already played. I don't know that you could convince me on those blind. Even like you said, even me knowing how much I love them now.
What about what if say Shovel Knight didn't come out when it did, but like they came out now with all the fucking things that released with it?
I would have to try it out because that would tell me oh it's a bunch of developers that didn't know what they wanted to do, so they just threw it all in the pot.
Okay, fair.
And that's just like having not played it, and having played it, like I know it's a great and amazing game, and I would pay $60 for it. But going in blind, and you just showed me this game that has like 4 games packed into it, I'd be like, I don't know.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Jeff. I just realized I needed to pick up Shovel Knight, so...
No problem, dude. I guess for me, like, it would have to depend on, like, if it have to depend on if it's Jeffrey Pate, you know? Like, if it's something that could just, like, pull me into it, like, say that, you know, it's a giant fucking it's a mech fucking it's a fucking Beast Wars mech transforming thing that plays like Battle Network and stuff, and you know there's online multiplayer. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. That seems like up my alley. It's the gamble of like it's like I said with Aldo. There's a gamble because you don't know anybody who's making it. Like you don't know you don't know anybody. Like it's like when
like Ukulele. I was gonna say like Ukulele is I think for me like a perfect example because
yeah.
I mean I kind of knew who was gonna play it or who was gonna make it, but even then it's like I don't know, and I'm happy I didn't pick it up because I was interested. But once it came out and the reviews came out and I saw like just kind of how great it was, I was like no.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, like what it boils down is that in games, you have your gameplay loop, and I think ultimately, like determining price over time and whatnot for me comes down to how lengthy is that gameplay loop, how complicated is that gameplay loop, and how many times am I expected to engage in that gameplay loop. Because if it's a game with a simple gameplay loop that's short, and I'm expected to engage with that gameplay loop multiple times, like Slay the Spire or Dead Cells, where it's very RNG based, that's just not something that I can justify $60 for. But if it's something like Persona, where it's a like somewhat short gameplay loop, but it's complex, and I'm expected to engage that a few times over like 4 or 6 times over a long amount of time, then I can more justify that to myself.
I think
if that makes sense.
Yeah, in a way. Like, it's for me, it'll be like, I guess the biggest thing on my end, just due to how I grew up, would probably be replay value. You know, like if something like will take me a slog to do and stuff. Like I will probably not go back to play that game for either probably a long time, if not never. It's like it'd be like in a way, like maybe this is me pulling a stretch, like how because of what's going on in the world right now, how like you're able to rent movies like on like the Amazon store or whatnot that just came out. For example, like when like movies now that just came out are like $20 and stuff, and you're rented for a total of 48 hours, and maybe that's just a bad comparison on my end, but it goes hand in hand with the length as well as like the length and like who's making said movie and whatnot.
That's kind of a weird comparison because it's not exactly spot on, but it's also not that far off.
Yeah. Like,
Cause yeah, like $20, like you can buy a movie for that.
yeah.
But also $20 is kind of like, I don't know, depending on what type of person you are, that's almost what you spend at a movie theater to go watch a movie, anyways. So like, I don't know, right? Like, cause that's why I haven't rented Harley Quinn, but also that's also why I obtained it in a different manner. Cause I don't want to pay $20, but also if I like it, I will pay $20 to own it. Like I have like a healthy Blu-ray DVD collection, and it's not that I'm afraid to spend money. I don't know, like I like to spend money on things I know I'm gonna like. And
Yeah.
20
like
and
no, you'll be able to get back to.
yeah, and $20 is kind of like a hefty commitment for just the movie and not a theater experience. Because part of why I'm okay paying that money to go see it in the theater is because it's different. I can't afford like a $5,000 sound system, or like a 50-foot screen. Yet.
Right?
Yet.
Like it's a weird time. Like it's a weird time we live in where we're clamoring for games to get a remake and stuff. At the same time, we, for the most part, depending on how big a fan you are, you don't want to pay like a big price for it. And
Yeah.
like the main thing is that if you feel like if you look at a game and you feel like you're gonna get some like more bang than for your buck, then go for it. If not, just you can still borrow it from a friend and see how you personally like it.
Yep.
Like that's why I think is a good thing about like let's plays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To see
Yeah, if you had told me that I was gonna like playing a deep-seated drama game about a Yakuza 6 years ago, I would have been like, no, that sounds fucking dumb. But then I fucking watched the Super Best Friends play it, and I'm like, yo, this is fucking sick!
That's what convinced me to buy Dead Cells. Was I was totally not down for like a Dark Souls styles roguelike, like 2D art or whatever. I kind of wasn't down for it, and I was watching like gameplay for it, and I was like, yo, this looks fucking rad. And then I played it, and I was like, yo, this is fucking rad.
It's the same thing for me when it came to Shovel Knight as well as Lethal League. I forgot who I watched play Lethal League, but I remember I was watching Game Grumps when they were playing Shovel Knight back when it was like fresh. Like I think it was still like demo wise for their either Indiegogo or whatever.
It was Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. I bought
And then,
Lethal League blind, and I was kind of happy with that. That was a risk.
That was a good risk. And like for the if there is anybody that actually listens to this podcast that's in game development, if that would be a surprise, first of all.
Thank you.
That's nobody.
Yes,
That's
thank
nobody.
you.
2 years from now, when at least one of us has made it big, they're digging through this to find fucking shit
To find dirt.
yeah, to find dirt.
To find dirt.
And they go, this motherfucker doesn't like Panzer Dragoon. Take him down. Oh no, I'm canceled.
Hey, do you guys know that Jeff guy that made that awesome cartoon? Do you know apparently he's a low-key furry?
please. As if you could make it big and then somehow convince all of us to not tell the world how much of a furry you are. What kind of fantasy world do you live in?
I would absolutely out you as a furry, like, the moment, like, you were trending on Twitter.
Hey, yo, that main character's a fucking furry!
There you go. So that's moving out of
Yeah. Oh, you critically acclaimed artist and author Jeff Bullock. I think you mean Shadow Wolf.
You guys know about
you.
Southpaw.
That's a weird way to spell Southpaw, the Shadow Wolf. I didn't know that had a B in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
big talk for somebody who's within yipping distance?
Point proved. Okay.
That's gonna come back and bite me in the ass 10 years from now. But
Back tomorrow to bite you in the ass.
But all in all, though, any upcoming like game creator stuff, you know, reach for the moon, and if you can't do that, reach for the stars, right? Hopefully.
Man,
Thank you, motivational poster that was in every single '90s elementary school library.
Basically, like if you make a dope ass game, then I hope that you're able to. You know, you're able to still rock with it until like you make a really, really dope ass game where you're able to get that price point. You know, if you get a proper following, then you'll be able to hit that price point. We'll see, like, you know, this game will probably be worth it, hopefully.
I'm just gonna say I'm really nervous for Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Because I pre-ordered the collector's edition, not the $200 one, like just the $70 one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going into that blind because I don't know what Sucker Punch can make with like a feudal Japan game that has like no waypoints. So it could be that I'm just lost for like the first 10 hours of the game and I never pick it up again and feel like I wasted my money.
I think you're in good hands.
We'll find out.
I'm seeing what else Sucker Punch made.
They've done Sly Cooper and Infamous.
Infamous.
Those are the two biggest things.
Infamous is okay. Infamous is.
I love
I played
Infamous.
a little bit of
Yeah.
Infamous.
That's why I'm taking a shot.
They did some Sly Cooper games.
They did the original Sly Cooper games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just some, like the good ones.
All right, so yeah, you're probably in good hands, bro.
Yeah, we'll
When
see.
are they gonna make Mega Man Legends? I want Infamous Legends.
That's
I want Mega Man Infamous. God damn it! You know that game would be fucking straight fire.
That is the one that hurts me.
If you've ever doubted.
I know. We talk about brain range and stuff, but Mega Man Legends is the one that got me the most.
If you've ever doubted that Jeff was a furry, he just gave like a very puppy-like whimper when we mentioned it.
Like you'll never see me in a video game in my most defeated than the cancellation of Mega Man Legends 3. Sonic Forces was close, but Mega Man Legends. Oh.
Oh man, and then you got that tease when they were gonna come out with Red Ash, and you were like,
I was like,
Has Red Ash been officially canceled?
yes, I think so.
Yeah. Inafune was too fucking. Inafune, I loved you.
What? Are you calling it infamy?
No, Inafune.
I'm talking about.
Oh,
Inafune.
oh,
I said-
Inafune.
I had
He's
some
like-
votes for my
That
number
mother-
9.
That motherfucker there. No, okay, listen, I don't want to say.
You got too greedy.
Listen, I don't.
Oh wow!
I don't want to
It
say
is-
that like I know what that man's about, but I feel like he's not even that great a director, and I feel like his team saved his ass for like 8 games before we had to come to terms that maybe he was just like, yeah, this looks good, type of guy.
he was the guy that did that whole Japanese games need to be more Western thing. That's why we had
Yep.
that DMC game.
Yeah. Fucking. Kamiya put it best. He's a businessman, a very bad one, like most businessmen.
I like him.
But
Kamiya's a good fellow.
fun fact: Red Ash has not been officially canceled, But
Is that like an indefinite hiatus?
so the last we've heard of Red Ash officially is that the Kickstarter failed. Inafune was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah,
It's being
Tino saved
funded.
Chainor?
It's being funded by Fuse." However, Fuse's
everybody was angry because Fuse was funding it, and they announced it during the Kickstarter. That's right, I remember.
yeah, and then Fuse is no longer pursuing any kind of like gaming at this point in time.
So it's unofficially dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that last time I heard about Inafune is that he his studio merged with Indie Creates.
Yeah. And the last time any Red Ash has put out a tweet was 2015.
Oof.
So
Damn.
Man, if you had a baby when they tweeted that baby would be getting ready to go into like elementary school.
Right? And then like you're like, we're gonna call this baby Beck. And then, and then like that baby just gets raised up being a disappointment.
God damn
nah,
it,
man.
But I mean,
Man. No, you just changed his origin story, right? We didn't name you after that fucking Red Ash game.
Have you
We
heard about
named
the
you after
Mongolian
Mongolian Chop
Chop
Squad.
I thought you were gonna say the guy that made that kick-ass music for Scott Pilgrim, the movie.
Dude, I went back to watching College Program the other day. Freaking A. I forgot Chris Evans was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so I think we talked about this enough. Any final words, guys? Aldo, Kyle?
Yeah. Red Ash. It's probably canceled. So now we get the new debate.
What's up?
Was Mighty Number 9 really better than nothing? Because now we live in a universe where we have no Mega Man reboot and we have Mighty Number 9. So, really, which was better?
I'd say
clearly the release of Mighty Number 9 was the indication that we had entered the bad timeline.
I'd say in a way yes, because we got a revival of Mega Man. Just like Capcom's like, hey, that thing sucked, so how about Mega Man?
we got Mega Man 11 and then some reboots. Like, we are not in the Renaissance. We are not in the Renaissance of Mega Man.
Mega Man 11 did pretty good for what it was. It sold pretty well. I'd say
It's been 2 years, so almost. It's been a year and a half.
And with Capcom apparently implying that there might be an X9 after after the release of the X Collection. You know,
Hasn't the X Collection already come out?
the X Collection came out, yeah. And then one of the things they said was like on the X Collection, like there was a to be continued after X8. And
Oh, that's the other Mega Man. That's the good Mega Man X Collection.
yeah,
That was about 2 years ago
Yeah.
that it came out. July 24th of 2018.
and then
Yeah.
with Zero ZX coming out, and if they release X9, ZX3, or Legends 3, then fucking we'll get the ball rolling with Mega Man again. 11 was a good start, and there has been a lot more. Oh my god, that time when they fucking canceled Legends 3, it was just downhill slope for Capcom for me in regards to Mega Man.
I'm waiting on it with bated breath. Like,
Mega Man 11 wasn't bad.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's definitely not gonna happen, but like, you haven't convinced me that it is.
I'm more of a Battle Network person in regards to Mega Man, and they ended it, so I'll be fine with what they get in regards to anything else. If they came out with a Battle Legendary Collection, holy shit, that'd be awesome.
Hey man, while you're waiting on that to get announced, go play Steps from Eden.
Yeah, I actually will down. Did it come out yet?
Yeah, it's out. I believe so.
Oh shit!
I linked you the direct thing to
I know
Steam.
that I know that they were going to release it for the Switch also, so I might buy it on the Switch.
One
Just
step
have it.
from Eden. Yeah, it's out.
All right, cool.
There's no like early access or anything about it, so
Sweet. All right, let's jump off this and let's get into the news. Yeah.
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 Oh shit, we haven't even gotten to the
Oh
news.
shit! Yeah,
It's
we
like
just
an hour
like
and 20.
we just ranted for like
Yeah.
All right, so
crazy man ranted.
hopefully, everyone with well, it's probably doubtful. So maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Some hesitant optimism. The PS5 will come out this year. Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't know when, but it's probably gonna be sometime.
It's holiday
But
2020.
they said holiday
Yeah.
2020. So, and the whole, well, I think what Jeff was getting at is regarding current social regulations.
Current events
Yeah.
that we will be specifically vague about. You definitely know what we're talking about, though.
You know, like a
Yeah.
crowning,
and we could just talk about it, but we're not going to.
like a sort of crowning event.
Yes.
Shout out to my Spanish speaking people that get that. Yeah, who knows if that'll interrupt development and release of the actual system. Well, not development,
Yes.
I guess. I guess production is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, some heavy burden that the world has to bear.
Yeah.
Beer.
Totally unrelated, but I've really been listening to that It's Corona Time song. No reason. It's Corona Time. Man,
All right.
that song slaps.
So,
My
anyways,
Corona.
Da, 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 da.
speaking of which, like I was talking to Mark the other day about like how you and his, we went to when we were at in Boise. I think it was your last time up in Boise. How you and him got like those fucking like
Oh, the Coronitas?
Oh,
Yeah, the
God,
Coronitas.
Oh, did this feel good?
and how we just left you and both of you guys were just like getting sloshed at that fucking restaurant.
Oh my
Drinking those.
god, those things were fucking rad. I was gone after that. Oh, I would totally. If whenever you go back to Boise, I'm fucking down. Those things were cheap too. They were like $8, weren't they?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they were stupid cheap
They're
and
gonna
tasty.
take less
Tasty.
They were no like
we were just like good.
no legit though. Like I don't care how cheap a drink is. If it doesn't taste good, I ain't buying it. I ain't drinking it. That shit was tasty and cheap, and we got sloshed. That was.
Anyways, all right, let's so all right, now we're getting back to the news. So with the PS5 coming out this year, hopefully, fingers crossed. They first showed off what?
Uh-huh.
Sorry. It's the video instantly started playing when I was going down the fucking. It just played automatically when I started going down. When I started scrolling down. PlayStation, Sony showed the controller for the PS5, and it's different.
It's been divisive.
It's a controller.
It's a controller.
Yeah, it's a controller.
God, it looks like some sort of like futuristic suppository. I don't know how I feel.
Like
It's
like
that boomerang.
this is no, it's not nearly as bad as the boomerang, but like
No.
this does look like fucking somebody like took like
Wally.
vague tech like patent information and then made a Photoshop design of it. Like it still
Yeah,
doesn't feel like quite real.
It looks like a 360 fucked a PS4 controller.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody like the person designing this was also watching like Wall-E for like the 30th time, and they're like, I'm just gonna make Eve into a controller.
Like the biggest thing for me is that it's a white controller. Like it's
Yes,
gonna get dirty.
yes.
It's gonna get fucking dirty. It feels like.
It's okay. On top of that, okay. So here's the thing: the photos they released also aren't like super great. So I'm assuming that like where the white plates connect to like the black body of it, I feel like dirt and shit is gonna bunch up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be no easy way to like take that stuff off to be able to clean it. And like in 6 months, my controller is gonna taste and smell like pizza.
Like that's like it's a good thing that we're fucking adults and we're not gonna end up having Cheetos all over our fucking controller grooves and stuff like that, you know?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what else? You know what else bothers me too is they didn't release a picture of the back, and I want to know if they incorporated those back buttons into the base controller, because a lot of people were speculating that that back button attachment for the PS4, which is also sold out. Like they did one shipment of it, and it's absolutely sold out. People thought that was some sort of some sort of attachment to help future-proof the PS4 controller, so you could use it with the PS5. Granted, that's speculation, and there's no basis for that rumor. But if I got a picture of the back of that controller, I would know.
Like, I think the biggest thing that gets me, like, it irks me about it the most is the fact that it's such a departure from, like, you know, the PlayStation, like how a PlayStation controller is supposed to look like. Like, PlayStation has been way fucking on point with their controllers, like, throughout the years and stuff, that they're really fucking similar, that you can't really, you know, you don't have to feel any difference, like...
Yeah, dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right?
Yeah, and now they're trying to fix it, and it ain't broke.
Yeah.
It ain't broke, they're trying to fix it. With this weird-ass white that has these weird grooves and stuff, like...
I'm not a fan of, like... So I don't have big hands. So, like, the 360 controller, or even the Xbox One controller, have never been the most comfortable for me. But, like, the PS4 controller for me is, like, the perfect controller. And I hate that they're getting away from that classic design. Alright, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is this gonna be like? What do they call it every year? The what do they call the controller? I don't even fucking remember.
DualShock.
Yeah, DualShock.
This is the DualSense. I'm gonna give it like a year. No, not even that. Like 6 to 8 months before they come out with the DualShock 5 version of it. Because that's what happened with like the PS3. Was I forgot what they called the controller.
Mm-hmm. And then so it was the 6-axis controller, but like the reason that happened was because Sony got into some patent issues with the company that does all the actual like DualShock shit.
Yeah.
So they couldn't include any of the DualShock shit in it.
I thought the reason was because they didn't want the vibrations to interrupt with the 6-axis controls.
That may have been part of it, but there was also like the biggest thing that was reported was like that issue with the company that owns the patent for DualShock being like, hey, motherfuckers, give us our money. And Sony was like, we don't need you. You haven't been part of the iconic PlayStation series. And then like 9 months later, they were like, hey guys, guess what? We have a DualShock 3 now.
We found some extra money, so you know, would you like it?
I still think that this is probably still something of a prototype image. I imagine it's probably not going to be like the actual controller is probably not going to be drastically different from this. But I do think that there's probably going to be some complaints handled, like because like the biggest thing that people have been complaining about is that it's white and that like the two-tone, and I can imagine that being a very easy adjustment for them to make.
I would love it if they came out with like a midnight edition and it was like black.
Yeah.
Like at launch, like a special edition. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see them easily doing that. One thing that I did notice just now is that the fucking PlayStation buttons aren't colored, which
there's no color. It's
burns
completely
my ass.
that bugs me. That bugs me a bunch because like that's. So I have an Xbox One controller that has the buttons white, but like inside of inside of that little area where the buttons are, it has like 4 little dots to let you know what color goes to each one. And this motherfucker doesn't even try that. It doesn't even try. It gave up before it tried.
Yeah. So I think I think when we get around to seeing the console, we'll probably see some adjustments be made to this controller. But yeah, I honestly do hope that they just release a DualShock 5 version. I'm not terribly fond of it. I am glad that they've still kept the same D-pad though, because every other console's D-pad is fucking absolute hot garbage.
Yeah, did you see the new Xbox One D-pad? I'm not a fan.
The
Xbox
Series X.
Sorry, I forgot. I forgot.
Oh, it's such a convoluted fucking name.
XX.
XXX.
XX.
The Xbox X.
Yeah, the Xbox X.
Yeah.
You know,
it's fucking dumb.
The next part after Xbox Sad.
Are they just gonna add a turkey?
Ooh, oh, that's gross. Oh, that's so gross.
What?
Like that fucking Xbox Series X D-pad.
Put
Oh,
a link on Discord.
yeah.
Look on Discord.
That's it's a fucking, it's an actual pancake.
Oh.
Pixar didn't happen, Kai.
Ew.
I'm pasting it.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
You know,
gross.
So gross.
You know what I love is on the Microsoft official website, like the name of the press release is like
Ew.
making gaming's best controller even better, and I'm like, I don't think you understand what better means.
Yeah.
Did I just look at like the Steam controller and like, huh, that seems cool.
That seems neat.
You know that attachment we have on the $200 controller that nobody ever uses? Let's force them.
Yeah.
Then they'll understand why it's great.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not terribly fond of the Series X either.
Yeah.
The way that it looks.
I will
Also, the name is dumb.
Yeah. I will say, apart from the two-tone complaint and like how kind of beefy the PS5 controller looks,
Yeah.
I am actually excited for the haptic feedback on the triggers. I think that's something that you can do cool stuff with it.
Yeah. I like that the controller button is just the PS logo instead of like a circle, like a button with the PlayStation logo in it.
Yeah.
The PlayStation logo itself is the button. I've always adored that. That's neat. I like it. But yeah, I do not like the like. I just want a DualShock 5. Like that's all I got, buddy.
Just why you gotta change it on me, man?
Just give me back what I want.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Or let me use my
Yeah.
PS4 controller on the PS5.
That's what I just want. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fucking figure out how to do that. I will.
Well, like so we already know that there's going to be backwards compatibility for the PS4 with the PS5.
yes.
So, and other than the haptic feedback, I don't think that there's any
Yeah.
other like super new features.
Yeah.
So
Oh no.
it doesn't.
Go ahead.
It wouldn't surprise me if it is actually backwards. Like we have backwards compatible controllers.
I'm not
Which
gonna, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh no, I can't feel the tension from my bow string on my trigger. Like that's not gonna be like, that's not gonna make or break a video game for me. I would like
Yeah.
it, but if I can use my PS4 controller, that's fine. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
It's gonna be fucking what's it called? Horizon Zero Dawn 2. You can feel like the bow like strength and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, or whatever, or on like Last of Us.
Yeah.
Because they'll do like an enhanced port that has that shit built into it.
Yeah. And then that's why people are gonna buy PS5s for that game.
Yeah. Or Spider-Man.
Or Spider-Man, yeah.
Spooderman 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spooderman.
Spider-Man.
You can feel the tension of the web that
What?
Peter Parker is flipping around.
Just
You just if it has a microphone, you'll be able to hear like freaking Peter Parker's insecurities every time he makes a quip.
You'll hear the thwip coming out of your fucking.
That's a speaker,
controller
not a
speaker.
microphone.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Actually, I'm gonna say though, I like how dumb that is. Like them putting microphones into the controller, so you can use it for your chat. Never mind the fact that you're gonna hear all like the little clicking sounds from like pressing buttons and whatever.
You know, there is only one type of person that ever uses the microphone feature on a controller, and it is always the person blasting their shitty mixtape at full volume while there's 3 children crying in the background and they're screaming at their wife to make more macaroni and cheese. That is the only person that uses that feature.
Hey man,
Game companies, stop it.
Hey man, I need people to listen to my song Captain Save-A-Ho. For the origin of that, freaking long story short, we received a demo mix from somebody at the freaking the rehab center down in Salt Lake.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was that you and me that helped out that DJ at one of those salt fests, and we got his mixtape?
Yeah.
I found it when I moved here, and I was packing up. I found it. It's still not great. He recorded that like on a shitty mic, and I feel bad. Anyways, that's
that's limited technology.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You gotta
For any inspiring aspiring audio creators and whatnot,
Do not send your mixtape to us. We don't care.
That specifically, and make sure you guys invest in having a good sound equipment and a place to make banger music.
I mean, just go record like in your closet. Like it's better. Like if you have like your shitty mic on your phone, just go record in your closet. Your clothes will absorb a lot of sound. It'll improve the quality. Anyways, that's all those mic tips.
Yeah, right now we're not. I'm not the best. I'm doing this in like a corner of my fucking living room with Marcus right next to me. So fucking it's whatever.
Yeah, there's like a tinge of echo.
Yeah,
not like a real echo, like, but you don't have sound foam.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Fancy phone.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the next topic. So into the cooking pan and onto the fire. We'll go to something more.
Wait,
more
did
rough.
we decide what did we decide we were going to
Talk
talk
about Cooking Mama, baby.
Oh hell yeah!
So
The original cooking myth.
onto the fryer, coming out the fryer into the deep fryer. Aldo, do you want to?
I want to let Kyle.
Kyle, do you want to talk about Cooking Mama? Because
So, I want you to think back to your days as a child, and I want you to distinctively remember where you were at and what you were doing when you were first playing Super Mario World. Now imagine a strange man from the future comes and tells you that there's going to be a game that gets released that allegedly has fucking, I don't know where I'm going. Fucking Cooking Mama.
Keep going, please.
Go,
you set the story, bro. I need it. Come on, Future Man. Scare 5-year-old Jeffrey and his friend playing Super Mario World in the middle of the night in his fucking room. Terrify us.
That you're going to play a game where all you want to do is cook nice, delicious dishes. But while you're playing that game, an evil corporation CEO man is using your new Nintendo console to mine virtual currency and selling your information to the internet black market, which causes your new Nintendo console to overheat. But actually, when people go in and rip the ROM apart and find not only is that not happening, but that the Nintendo Switch isn't even capable of mining said virtual currency, and that game got pulled from fucking digital markets because the company that was making the game somehow had the game released when it wasn't supposed to fucking be released, and that's why you can't buy it digitally.
I just want to say in this hypothetical scenario, there's a lot of shit you would have to explain.
Yeah, I think my 5-year-old Jeff's response will be like, "Oh wow, that sucks, Mister.
That's
What happened?" But I'll still have my Sega console, right?
I think my 5-year-old ass would be like, hold on, can we go back to like a cooking game? Like, how do you even tell an orange and an apple apart? They're just pixels.
Hey, I said Super Mario World. You could tell the difference between like the fruit apple and the mushrooms.
Well, yeah, because they're different shit. Anyways, hypothetical scenario part.
All right, continue.
Because that's what's fucking happening.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though is it was actually supposed to have that blockchain technology. Granted, it wasn't overtly for mining money. It was supposed to be like you could mine like it would affect like your multiplayer somehow. It was like some weird bullshitty thing.
No, so it was dumb CEO man saying buzzwords to get more money.
Yeah,
that's
like,
all it was.
like while you're but also like the pitch originally was that while you were playing the game and you were connected online, your Switch is mining currency that you can then use to like not buy DLC, but like I think buy recipes from other players. Some weird bullshit like that. Like you would own stock in Cooking Mama somehow.
Capitalism. Yeah.
Like I don't even
fucking
I read the fucking original pitch from like a year or two ago, and I still don't understand it.
Dumb CEO man make digital currency.
It's so fucking weird. God, 2020. Can we just be done with 2020?
We're not even halfway there.
Can we just go into 2021 early and just give me a PlayStation 5?
Just
that's if it doesn't get delayed.
So you yell at the controller and stuff,
or it's
it's
limited stock.
Yeah, so I could blast my mixtape over my controller. I'm gonna do that just to piss Kyle off.
God damn it!
Because Kyle and I play so many like online games together.
I'm gonna be beating your ass in Tekken, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna hear some fucking shitty Cruel Angel Thesis mashup.
I am Captain Save-A-Ho. Save-A-Ho. Save-A-Ho.
I'm looking this up.
What, Captain Save-A-Ho?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a song that you're looking up, but if you find it, if it starts off, if you hear the chorus being, she hits me up on the phone and stuff, then yeah, that'll be the one.
It was like, we got a mixtape. They just gave us a mixtape outside of a courthouse.
What the fuck were you guys doing at a courthouse?
Long story short, we'll tell the story after the podcast.
Okay.
Oh, did you find it?
But like, it's not by E40.
No, it's not by E40.
Okay.
It's a local. It's our local Utah rapper.
Oh no, I think I found it.
Oh god, sorry everybody. We're going through a cringy part. Anyway, so continue on Cooking Mama Kai.
That's what.
Like,
what else am I supposed? Are you not entertained by the fuckery that is big dumb CEO people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about? They never know. Don't trust CEOs. Kill them.
Jesus, God.
Eat the rich.
They're not real people. Change my mind. You won't.
That is not the song. What the fuck? All right, I think we just got sidetracked because we know how much shady Cooking Mom, what happened to Cooking Mom, that sucks dick. And then we got sidetracked with Captain Savaho.
You know what's kind of bananas too is okay. So the original creators behind Cookie Mama were trying to like, they're trying to sue, or they were trying to sue because they were saying like, hey, they didn't. This wasn't like an officially licensed game. Which I guess it came out that it wasn't true. Like I guess they had the rights or something. They approved the detail, whatever. Anyways, point is they have the rights to do it. But the original, like none of the original people are involved with this, so they were trying to sue, saying like it's unauthorized, it shouldn't be out there, blah blah blah. But it is. And I think it's telling that the official Cooking Mama Cookstar unofficial game, hypothetically, they don't even have the Cooking Mama Twitter handle. Their Twitter handle is Cookstar Mama.
Cookstar Mama. I mean, that's one way.
Mama.
Mama.
The original gaming MILF.
Sus. Sus. That's all I have to say. It's sus. It all sounds sus.
Yep.
What is that even? Is that another dumb fucking
Suspect.
made-up internet name?
Yeah, it's just you're just removing the last syllable from suspect or suspicious.
Suspicious.
Sus.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Why I was always hiding when suspicious. I'm gonna censor that out. What did I just say? Oh my god.
I thought we were gonna say more about this, but I guess we
I
didn't.
know.
Yeah, well, because the main thing is that I don't care for Cooking Mama, and the only time I cared about Cooking Mama was freaking that one animated short that freaking I forgot her name. Shit, and that bugs me because
But Cooking Mama, she got them thick thighs. Though.
see those guys.
They save lives, dude.
I save lives, and like.
But lollies are my demise.
What the fuck? Oh.
Do you guys not listen to Shiki?
We do, but
Fuck Shiki. Shiki is fucking trash.
but,
Get the fuck out of here.
but
I like Shiki. I like him a
He
lot.
has like
Of course
three-
you do.
he has-
You're a fucking goblin.
He has like 3 verses he repeats on all his songs.
Yes, he does.
Shiki, get at me, bro. Let's collaborate. Let's get to some new lyrics on that fucking portfolio.
I am so speechless. Like
But can I talk about how I fuck little girls still?
we're ending this now. We're ending
Hey,
this
man,
now before it gets.
it's not
fucking-
his fault. His bedroom smells like your little sister's shampoo.
I'm done with this conversation. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I am sandbagging the fuck out of this. I'm sandbagging this. All right. So, okay. So sorry for the lackluster talk about Cooking Mama. You can look it up yourself if you guys are more interested in it. I apologize sincerely. What are you guys looking forward to for this week? For this coming week? It's although
As Jeff futilely tries to sandbag this conversation.
although
In the background of us dying from fucking laughter.
what are you planning for this coming week?
Please just stop.
Shit. What? Sorry. What was the question?
What week plans for the coming
Oh,
week?
weak plants. Probably Persona 5 and Final Fantasy. I got a whole stack of comics that I need to read. I got a lot of Batman.
Beckman.
Batman and Spider-Man comics. I gotta I got time.
Although,
I got time. The comic industry got canceled, so like I have time.
although,
What?
do you think they're probably gonna do a Marvel DC crossover? Because
Well, that's kind of up in the air right now.
there's between like what's going on in like Thor as well as Justice League, it seemed kind of.
I mean, okay. So short of it is, they teased something in the big world resetting DC Doomsday comic book.
Yes. Doomsday Clock.
They teased it at the end when like John Manhattan, I don't know his real name, Dr. Manhattan. John Manhattan.
John Manhattan.
Touchdown.
Yeah, when John Manhattan fixed the timelines, the timeline and restored like the multiverse. He also came to the realization that he could start seeing into the future again, and one of those things was that he saw like vague non-copyright Marvel characters fighting the Justice League. What do you call him? Like a green Goliath of pure rage and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
that's how he described him. So that's teased. So who knows if that's gonna happen, and if it does, when it's gonna happen.
It was the Thor. It was one of the new story with Thor. Is that they mentioned about like Superman, Green Lantern, Flash.
Yeah. So to introduce like the new villain. Well, I don't know if it's a new villain or he's been existing. To tease him, he's been going through like dimensions before he gets to or universes. And one of the universes that he went through was a very vaguely DC-looking, Metropolis-looking place, and he blew it up. So they've both been teasing like these things, but like nothing has been officially reported. A couple weeks ago, you had a bunch of writers and artists on Twitter talking about what DC character, like Marvel writers going like, oh, what DC characters would I love to write for, and like vice versa. So you had like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's actually related to this or if it's just them like dreaming and it's just weird timing because everybody's talking about the crossover. So like, who knows? It could be a thing that comes out like in 2 years. It could be in 10. I don't know. After this whole situation, we might not even have a comic book industry right now. So, who knows? Comics are canceled for like the next month. I just want to point that out. Like, I picked up my hold at like because I still have the store out in Utah. They shipped me my comics like on the week that was the last week they received the shipment of new comics. So I am absolutely caught up with like everything and will be for like the next month or two.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Fuck, we derailed that. Okay, we derailed again.
I mean, that's what we do. That's what I do. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
But now, how am I gonna read New Warriors and find out about Snowflake and Safe Space?
Oh God! Don't even. Okay, you know what? No, I'm not getting into this.
We're not good. I am not. Getting
I'm not
that.
getting
I'm
into
not
this.
getting that either.
That's I've had this discussion with people, and it makes me angry. Not for the reasons you would think, but it makes me angry.
It makes me angry for another reason.
Like, those characters have their place. That writer probably shouldn't be the one making them.
All right, I'm gonna say this now. All right. I don't like the idea that the fact that people are like, let's aggravate society by making a Darkseid character, all these things and stuff like that. And there are dark people like dark-skinned people that are like that and stuff like that. But
the problem isn't the problem isn't the characters. The problem is the intent.
Yeah.
And it feels like a very shocky event.
Yeah.
Like it's not like when Miles Morales come out. Like, people weren't like, oh, Spider-Man's black now. No, it was a very naturally made character who like was integrated into the universe. He wasn't shoehorned in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a press release is meant to incite people. It doesn't feel genuine. The person who's writing these characters hasn't lived through these things. They're not a genuine person. It's fucking bullshit capitalism, which is not the capitalism I like.
It's just the fact that they're pandering.
Although all capitalism is
No.
bullshit
It's just
capitalism.
they're pandering to
They're not-
They're not pandering.
They're not. Yeah.
They're trying. They're trying.
Yeah,
They're inciting.
They're inciting. They're not pandering.
Yeah, sorry. And
Pandering was when like North Star and what's his name got married, and they made a huge event out of that.
my apologies.
And even that was inciting, but
And-
that was at least like the characters who were canonically gay already.
I just-
making them marry.
I just don't like the fact that, you know, like, just to introduce, like, characters of different, like, you know, genders and all that stuff, like, have to specifically be a black character just because, you know, it will scare the white man. That's the thing that gets me the most.
I feel as a result of those two, people are sleeping on the best character from that, which is just fucking Squish.
Right? Oh, fucking A. The meme powered kid or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meme kid who got superpowers because of his uncle's experimental internet gas.
You know what the worst part is? Everybody's sleeping on like one of the best Hispanic X-Men characters, whose name is Gold Balls, and he just makes gold balls appear out of his body.
Oh yeah, his name is like he's called like Egg now.
Isn't that what Mr. Terrific does?
Well, the thing like he's
Except for he's black and makes silver balls.
No, that's technology.
like he's
Okay.
Gold balls, they come out of his body. He makes.
yeah, he's like the new X-Men run, from what I heard, is doing some pretty crazy shit. Like crazy.
Oh,
cool.
dude, I'm reading. That's part of what I'm reading is like the House of X, Powers of X, which is like when they rewrote and rebooted the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
And boy, that was a lot of work.
Is Wolverine back?
He's been back. There's been 2 Wolverines.
God damn it.
There's
these
all-
are the
there's-
things we're talking about, Marcus.
Let these fucking old superheroes die already. Fuck.
Yeah. So Wolverine came back. They found his body or whatever, and
Apparently, that's what DC's trying to do,
Re-healed.
anyways.
and then like Old Man Logan has just been hanging out in the Marvel universe for a while.
Yeah, Screen Time. That's the guy. That's Squishy
Yeah,
the
Screen
character.
Time.
That's Squishy the character.
Yeah. And then there's Snowflake in Safe Space. Like, oof, those names especially.
It's all about incitement.
That's Gold Ball.
All right. Let's go balls.
Okay, Kyle, so what's this week for you?
I don't know. I guess we'll play some.
Get chest molested by
Finish-
Gold Balls.
Like,
This is a long ass podcast.
yeah, like I don't know. I don't have any plans.
You're not gonna play Persona. Oh no, you finished Persona.
I finished it. I have beaten that game like 4 times within the last 6 months.
You can watch-
I am Persona 5
You
out.
can watch a Gundam series, like just.
I am not fucking watching Gundam
No,
Seed,
I'm
Jeff.
saying find a Gundam series that will interest you.
Nope. No.
Iron Blooded
No.
Orphans. Iron Blooded Orphans.
Nope.
Iron Blood Orphans.
Okay.
Oh.
Unicorn.
No.
Shut up.
You don't like Unicorn?
I haven't seen
Thank you.
Unicorn.
I don't know. I'll let you know what I didn't accomplish next week.
I know you said you're gonna wait till it's completed. We should watch Clayton.
One Piece.
I will.
One Piece. You have nothing.
No,
but
I'm
time.
waiting until they get to. I'm waiting until they get to chapter 1400.
All right, Marcus, what's your plans for the week?
Probably play more Persona 4, or not 4, but yeah, dude. Go back
I
to
mean, it's a
Persona
good game
4,
still.
'cause- yeah. So Persona 5 Royal.
Is that it?
Some Final Fantasy 14. Do some more Eureka stuff. Get my relic weapon.
Throw hands on Tekken.
Yeah, throw more hands with Aldo.
Man, do you feel bad after that last match? Because I would.
Not so much because we're 2-2 right now.
Oh yeah. 2-2.
Did you like that? Did you like that Panda Perfect?
Oh my god. Fuck you.
I was like, oh
Fuck.
shit, I did him too dirty. I'm sorry.
When I perfected you with that fucking lily, I was like, fuck you. Eat that.
I knew there was some salt behind that. Other than that, maybe buy Animal Crossing. And then
Do
pay off debt.
you want to pay? Do you want to pay $150 for Final Fantasy 7?
No, dude. No, I'm good.
No, friends family discount.
What about okay, what about you, Squish?
I'm thinking about watching shitty movies.
Like what?
I don't know, like Suicide Squad.
Okay, hold on. Wait, never mind. Suicide Squad sucks.
Uh,
Sorry.
Were you about to ask which Suicide Squad?
Well, no, I was gonna say Harley Quinn isn't bad, but then I realized he said Suicide Squad.
Is it really not bad?
What, Harley Quinn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's like a manic pixie dream girl version of John Wick.
Oh. Thanks, I hate it.
Manic pixie dream girl isn't like the right thing. It's just like a highly
It's
color.
just
It's just a very colorful female-led John Wick.
Do you like Deadpool?
You should.
Me?
I liked Deadpool when he wasn't a meme lord.
Oh, you mean never?
No, he was not a meme lord in the 90s. Then he was just edgy.
That was just shitty Deadpool.
He was edgy Deadpool, okay? I don't know what you expect from me.
Everybody was edgy in the 90s.
Not Jubilee.
Because Jubilee was a fucking Valley girl.
I'm pretty sure Jubilee shanked somebody in the 90s. I can't prove it, but I'm sure she did.
I think she became a vampire at some point.
Oh, yeah. She was late to her edge phase.
Just like the edge. The late edge.
Delayed Edge.
Jeff, remember that. So just in case we decide to make a fighting game, we'll make that our like counter.
Delayed edge.
Delayed edge.
But you should throw it up on Plex.
That'll be a nice
I will.
that'll be a nice what you call it? A nice combo breaker thing.
Yeah.
Or at least a revenge mechanic. So we oh shit. I guess that means what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Drawing, wrapping up Resident Evil and Mega Man, and getting started with Detroit, Brave Friends of Musashi, and Squishy.
What's up?
Are you willing to finish Kingdom Hearts 2?
We can try.
Okay, we can try. And also, so expect Resident Evil to be up. We're still early on the game in regards to the channel, but we're almost done on our end. Expect Battle Network and Tales of Eorzea to come out as well. Yeah. If you guys want to see my crazy comic, go on Facebook, and I'll do my best to keep on, making more and putting them up. So yeah. I think that about does it for us, yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So that's it for the other episode of Chits Chat. Hopefully next time we'll be able to do our Persona spoiler cast.
Well, that's not happening next time.
Motherfucker, just get it done. Jesus Christ.
You
Okay.
do have 2 weeks.
You guys are sharing a copy of Persona between 3 people. You think it's gonna get done in 2 weeks?
Kyle finished
Yeah.
his, which is halfway there.
I'm almost done.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Where are you at?
I'm in the first palace.
Dude,
I
save.
said this at the beginning.
Yeah, dude, save.
Final Fuckistry 7 can wait.
He just got his persona. You gotta stand.
I'm
dude.
not even that far.
Oh shit. That's where
Get on it.
Get on
I
it.
gotta stand.
No, I have a roommate that keeps hounding me to play Final. I have to play Final Fantasy. after
Yeah,
this.
but now
No,
but
you
you have
don't.
friends that are
Tell
hounding
you-
you to play Persona.
Tell your roommate to choke on a bag of dicks. You don't need to get on Final Fantasy 7 until they release the next part anyway. So fuck it. What?
Oh,
No,
podcast
it's 7.
is
It's a
episode 12.
remake.
What the fuck are you talking about?
This is episode 12 of the podcast, Squishy. We're still recording, by the way. All right, bye guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hopefully next podcast we won't talk about fucking little girls.
Things that save lives.
I'm gonna end it right
But
there.
lollies are my demise.
Yeah.